green and rolling hills of Monmouthshire. Our postcard today is from Abergavenny, and we're talking to Sally Davis, the curator of the Castle Museum. Well, there's not much left of this joint, is there?
Not a lot. Not a lot. You can blame the townsfolk of Abergavenny for that to a certain extent. Once the castle had been partially demolished, everybody turned up here with their pickaxes and wheelbarrows, thinking, oh, it's good, not a good to let all that stone go to waste.
Well, who actually pulled it down, or was it burnt down, or what?
Oh, it's during the Civil War. The townsfolk of Abergavenny had been overrun by the armies of the Royalists and the Cromwellians 3 times, because the castle changed hands 3 times. There's a great deal of inconvenience and loss of life to the people. So when Charles I was visiting Raglan, he came here, looked at the castle, looked at the state of its defences, and basically decided it wasn't worth squabbling over anymore.
So that's how it was got rid of?
Yes, he slighted it. It's a special word for what they did in those days. When they didn't want a castle to be defensible, they basically blew it up. They blow a hole in the curtain walls so that was partially destroyed. He piled gunpowder in the gatehouse and blew the roof off, and took the roof off all the living quarters.
So that's what happens if you slight someone now,
You slight
presumably?
someone, yes. Yes, you take their lid off.
This is slighting the castle.
They slighted the castle, yes.
We've learned something today.
Yeah.
We like to learn new things. Where would the layout have been then? This is obviously a tower. Would it have been?
Yes, this was the living quarters where the posh people lived. There was probably a chapel up in that part. There's a garderobe there. You know about garderobes? Yes, yes.
Gardeloo.
Gardeloo, yes.
Yeah.
That's where you hung all your clothes in there, hence garderobe, because the smell and the ammonia used to keep the moths away.
Where did this tree come from?
This was planted probably by the Marquis of Abergavenny, because the grounds still belongs to the Marquis of Abergavenny, and the little museum in the castle grounds was built by him as a hunting lodge in the early Victorian times.
And do you know there's a big picture of the Marquis of Abergavenny in Hove Museum in Sussex?
I didn't know that.
There is.
Yes. Well,
and we have a picture of him to
really?
prove it. Yes.
Well, the country seat of the Marquis is in Erridge Castle in Sussex, so that's where the connection is.
The connection.
There's the link.